Okay, let's just start with a bombshell, shall we? The market is now rewarding companies for firing people. That's not some scary prediction, that's what's happening right now. Today, we are going to dive deep into how AI is completely shaking up the job market. We're going to uncover the real threats, the incredible opportunities hiding in plain sight, and the brand new toolkit you're going to need to thrive in this new world. This quote from Simon Sinek, man, it just nails it. It gets right to the heart of the problem. For years, the tech world was obsessed with these made-up valuations, right? And that fueled this insane hiring frenzy that often had nothing to do with real, actual, countable revenue. What that did was create this giant bubble of inefficiency, and that bubble is exactly what AI is here to pop. Now, it's super easy to point the finger at AI for all the chaos, but here's the thing. The foundations of our work culture were already cracking. AI isn't the earthquake here. It's more like the aftershock that's showing us all the weak spots that were there the whole time. Let's dig into why. So here's the fundamental conflict that made everything so fragile. Really great businesses, they often start out as these slow, creative art projects. But they get funded by venture capital that demands explosive, insane growth in just a few years. That pressure to scale up so quickly, it often ends up killing the very creativity it was supposed to be funding in the first place. This pressure led to what our sources are calling an inefficiency economy. Instead of building smarter systems, the go-to solution for almost any problem was just hire more people. Don't have time for research? Okay, hire 3 analysts. Oh, those analysts are busy? Hire 2 interns to help them. We've just been throwing people at problems, creating these really bloated, inefficient companies. And here's just how big that inefficiency got. An internal study at one company found that a staggering 70% of the work most employees were doing was just grunt work, repetitive, low-value stuff. And now that 70%, it's the #1 target for automation. So you have this massive bubble of inefficiency, right? And then along comes AI, a tool literally designed to automate it all away. And this brings us to the uncomfortable truth of what this huge disruption really means for jobs right now. A recent report from Microsoft paints a really stark picture. As this chart shows you, pretty much any job that involves sitting in front of a computer faces a high level of disruption from AI. Meanwhile, physical, hands-on jobs, they're far less affected, at least for now. And this breaks it down even further. On one side, you have the really vulnerable roles, software engineers, accountants, graphic designers. And on the other, the more resilient ones, nurses, carpenters, plumbers. It's basically the physical trades versus the digital trades. And yeah, the digital ones are right on the front lines of this change. And this change is coming fast. I mean, really fast. The founder of Anthropic, and this is one of the companies actually building these powerful AI models, he predicts that half of all entry-level jobs could be gone in the next 5 years. Not a decade, 5 years. And this isn't just some prediction anymore. It's real. When the shipping giant UPS laid off 48,000 people, its stock price jumped 10%. The market is now actively rewarding companies for firing human beings. That is a fundamental and, honestly, kind of scary shift in how businesses are valued. So, with whole categories of work being automated away and the market incentivizing layoffs, it all leads to the single most important question on everybody's mind. Where are people supposed to find work? The answer? Well, it requires a pretty radical shift in how we think. We're moving from a world where you find a job to a world where you create your own opportunities. That old template of getting a safe, entry-level job and staying there for life, it's breaking down. So this is where we pivot. We move from fear to action, because we are not powerless in this shift. We just need a new toolkit. And this isn't about becoming a coder, it's about becoming a smart operator. See, to get powerful results from AI, you can't just ask it simple questions. You need a framework. And one of the best out there is what our sources call the magic prompt formula. It's a structured way to give instructions that completely transforms the AI's output from okay to amazing. It breaks down into 4 really simple but powerful parts. First, you give the AI a role, something like you are an expert Silicon Valley pitch coach. Second, you state your objective. Refine my business idea into a compelling 1-sentence pitch. Third, you give it critical context. My target audience is skeptical venture capitalists. And finally, you include any necessary data, like your rough draft. This structure, it turns a general tool into a world-class specialist. It's also about using the right AI for the right job. I mean, you wouldn't use a hammer to saw a piece of wood, would you? It's the same idea.
You'd use Grok for real-time social media insights. You'd use ChatGPT as your all-around generalist, and you'd use Claude when you need really high-quality, nuanced writing and content creation. Knowing their strengths is absolutely key. So now that you're armed with a new creator mindset and these powerful new tools, we can stop looking at the chaos with fear and start seeing the incredible opportunities that are popping up all over the place.
You know, the biggest opportunity of all might be with small and medium-sized businesses. They're the backbone of the economy, right? But they often don't have the resources to compete with the big guys. They desperately need help with things like lead generation, sales automation, and growth strategy, all tasks that AI can now totally supercharge. This massive need creates a huge underserved market. If you can understand how to use these AI tools, you can become an absolutely invaluable asset to these businesses, solving their biggest problems. This is the new entry-level opportunity. You're not an employee waiting for a task list. You're a problem solver who creates value. And it's not just about freelancing. We're seeing entirely new business models emerge. Take service as a software. Now, this isn't SaaS. Instead, you build an AI layer that handles, say, 90% of a task, like basic customer support chats. And then you have a small, expert human team that only steps in for the really complex, tricky problems. It's the perfect blend of AI efficiency and human expertise. And here's the best part. You don't even need to be a coder. The market for no-code AI tools, products designed for non-engineers like you and me to build things, is already a $500 million industry. And believe me, it is just getting started. Anyone with a good idea can build something now. So here's the crucial takeaway. AI isn't just automating tasks, it's automating boredom. It's taking all the repetitive grunt work off our plates, and that's forcing us to be more creative, more strategic, more entrepreneurial, more human. The old world of just ticking off a checklist is gone, which leaves us with one final question to really think about. When a machine can do your job, what is your work?